our brand new primetime lineup and our brand new show live stream. This is the one show that wants to know what you are thinking. It wants to hear your voice. It wants to know your concerns and answer all your questions. Yes, you got that right. This show is all about you and what matters to you. So write to us at livestream@ndtv.com. You can, of course, also, and we would love to have your video calls, your voice calls. You can call us at 8377088377. An easy number to remember there. Break that up in your head and you will know how easy it is. 8377088377. This evening, our big focus. MLA Gunsan to the petrol throwing Neta. Can India become a no VIP country? That's what we are asking. What is going on with all our VIPs? Despite everything, why can't we put an end to it in this day and age? This is something that I find personally very upsetting, and I'm sure all of you do too. So come on, pick up those phones and call us. Let me introduce my guest on the program, Ramakrishna Upadhyay, senior journalist, is joining us on the show. Also, Ashwini Nachappa, former international athlete, coming on the program in just a bit. Thanks, Mr. Upadhyay, for being with us on the program. Let's get started right away. One query that we had earlier this evening coming in from Srihari Mangalam from Delhi. Let's listen in.
Hi, my question is with the recent news of Karnataka MLA son Mohammad Nalpat being abusing and physically assaulting somebody in that Vishwas in that club, and then the news about Rocky Yadav a year ago of abusing power again. How do you think that this can actually be stopped? What measures should be taken to stop this, so that the normal people or the common folk in a democracy do feel safe?
Okay, Mr. Upadhyay, up first we've heard what Srihari has to say. There are just all of us who just wonder when all these stories come out. Let's look at Karnataka. Now, the Karnataka, one state which has been in the news for another day today, when we saw, obviously, someone, a Neta who feels he's entitled, throwing around petrol at this corporation office, threatening to burn it down. An MLA's son who beat up somebody in a brawl. We're told he's not a first-time offender. Where do you think we get this sense of entitlement from? This power, is it a power trip that we are on? We are power hungry, a nation?
Natasha, I think, it all stems from the kind of power the MLAs have been wielding, especially the politicians across the spectrum. Harris, I know, is a good legislator. He's a very decent man. But look at the way his son has behaved. I mean, Bangalore is still reeling under this kind of a atrocity he heaped on, an innocent man in a pub. I mean, you see, this couldn't have happened without the kind of, support that he is getting from his family. I mean, otherwise, how would he dare to do this kind of a thing? I mean, it's not just in one place. And then, he goes to the parking lot and beats him again, and then goes to the hospital and beats up, that victim once more. I mean, this is something, unbelievable, the kind of things that are happening. This is all because of, as you said, the power of entitlement. They feel that they can beat up anybody, they can assault anybody and get away with it. But it's been happening for a long time. And, this Mohammad Nalpat is known to have indulged in this. This is the first time he has been caught red-handed. Otherwise, there have been at least 6-7 cases, but the police have not registered cases. This is the first time a case has been registered.
You make a fantastic point. You've given my top point actually with Ashwini Nachappa. You can't get away with these things, unless you have, in most cases, I don't want to generalize, but in most cases, support from your family. Is that where we get, you believe, Ashwini, our power trips from? The fact that, kuch bhi kar lo, as they say in the north, sab kuch chalta hai. It's okay. We can do this. We can act with impunity. And more importantly, we can get away with it.
Well, we have to understand that we are a country of entitlements. If you've seen the history, everybody who is in power feels that they're entitled to everything in this country. We are mute, spectators to what is happening. Really, this is, with regard to Nalpat, I mean, as he rightly said, there are so many cases. The entire machinery is with him, not willing to take anybody's viewpoint except his and protecting him. Now, what Harris does is, because it's his child, he's obviously going to do, and his political career is at stake. So he's definitely going to use all his power to ensure that nothing negative comes out of this and to portray him as a, clean boy. But that is far from the truth. That is far from the truth. I mean, today I've been watching in the afternoon some of the local channels, and the number of people that have come out. He has threatened women. He has hit up his own Congress workers.
Absolutely.
So, and nobody has done anything. I
Right.
mean, is the entire government machinery working to protect him? It looks obvious at this moment.
Absolutely, the message it sends out. It's just so problematic, really. To use an Indianism. How can we get away with this? How can we allow this in this day and age? What makes them think they can get away with it? That just one can't comprehend that. We've got another caller coming in. This is Sakshat. Let's hear what Sakshat had to say.
So the issue of VIP culture in India is a very prevalent issue, which is not only, isn't only devastating to the common public, but to the nation in general. So how does the government plan on rooting out this issue? How does it plan on getting to the crux of this problem? Thank you.
Right, Mr. Upadhyay, quickly, you will agree. Now, he makes a good point there. We can't expect anyone to root this VIP culture, this Lal Batti syndrome, as it's called, again in the north, obsession with the red beacon. We can't expect anyone to root it out for us. We've got to take charge. We've got to do this for ourselves. So there seems to be no will among ourselves. I mean, for this, we can only blame ourselves.
No, I agree with you, Natasha. The thing is, see, this man Harris has said, let the law take its course. I mean, I hope he sincerely means it and he sincerely follows it, but you look at the kind of things that have happened since this incident. And the complainant who went to the Cubbon Park police station was made to wait for 4 hours. At 10:45 has gone there. Till 3:30, the police did not register a complaint. And then when Nalapad side came, within 5 minutes they registered a complaint. And this shows how the police are biased. And then even yesterday, when Nalapad came to surrender before the police, there were already senior policemen in the police station. Have you heard of a DIG being present there, additional commissioner of police, as if a VIP has come and we need to treat him very well.
That's a good point.
And that's the way. And how do you?
It wasn't a usual situation. It wasn't someone who was wanted, who was giving himself up. This was a special situation. So again, we could see you're saying some of those privileges on display. Now that's of course an important point to note. But Shashwati is now on the phone line calling in.
And also, they attacked the media men who were there.
Okay, I'm told that we are going to be getting some callers in who are calling in to ask their questions. The first one coming in from Chennai this evening. This is, of course, an issue that unites everybody. I'm just checking if we have Shashwati on the line to ask the question. Shashwati, go ahead with your question. Shashwati, just wondering, can you hear us? Natasha here from the Delhi studio.
Yeah, good evening. Shashwati here.
Go ahead, ask your question.
Hello?
Go ahead, ask your question.
Yes, I have a few things to say. First of all, yes, I support your idea that India has to be a no VIP country. And my questions are, do we need VIPs in a democracy, especially politicians who get elected for serving the people and bureaucrats who themselves choose a career to serve the nation? Why do they crave for VIP status where people end up serving these so-called VIPs? The other question is, aren't most of the wrongdoers in our country we come across in the daily news affiliated to the so-called VIPs?
Okay, that's a good point, and I tried to ponder over that myself. I can assure you, Shashwati, by asking, are they public servants or are they masters of the public? Now, I want to get you in again, Mr. Upadhyay, before we go on to our next caller, which is, it is largely thought that, in a sense, the south of India is in many ways more cultured. I want to tread carefully here, but somewhat more cultured, and one doesn't see this abuse of power, abuse of privilege there. But, from what we're seeing, none of that really adds up, because it seems everyone is drunk on this kind of power and privilege. So all across the country, we seem to be united by this love for all these VIP privileges. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, definitely. Unfortunately, Bangalore is no longer what it used to be earlier. I mean, especially now in the last 2-3 years, these murders have become, every other day it's happening, whether it's political murders or, related to real estate issues, and, things seems to have gone totally out of control. See, all this is happening because the politicians have so much of power over who is posted where. The policemen have no control over what things that are happening. And, the Supreme Court has given a verdict saying that the police establishment board should be there. It's an independent body which will decide on who is posted where and, transfers and this and that. But it doesn't really happen in reality. And now in the Siddaramaiah government, there is a, advisor who is a former senior police officer to the Chief Minister who controls the entire police establishment. So, an outsider controlling the establishment, how do you expect the police senior officers or junior officers working in, independently?
That's a good point.
So that's the whole problem.
That's a good point. I'm going to get you to talk more on that. But another caller coming up. This is Captain Walia. Ask your question, Captain Walia.
Natasha, I wanted to say that we have been having a lot of programs about VIP culture, but it actually doesn't work out because there's the political leaders themselves set bad examples. For instance, Amit Shah had a election speech in the airport. I mean, what can be worse than this? Which are in the security area. So there should be some system. These people are not bothered. We keep on doing these programs. It doesn't take any effect. Either there should be a law of some sort. Because unless we take some action, nothing is going to take place.
Okay, there are of course certain privileges that are still existing, but talk about privileges at airports or at stations and so on and so forth. Is it time to end all of them? That is still the big question. But my colleague Maya Sharma in Bangalore spoke to a group of people. We're just going to listen in to what the people of Bengaluru had to say on this issue. Maya had caught up with them earlier in the day. Just let's see if we can play that out.
Here in Bengaluru, the son of a sitting Congress MLA, N.A. Harris, accused of beating up another man on Saturday night, the son, Nalapad Harris, actually surrenders on Monday morning at the Cubbon Park police station. But it's not over. In election year, there's a lot of politics about it and a lot of different reactions coming in about the incident itself. We're joined by some young people from the city. When you first heard about it, that a MLA's son had allegedly beaten somebody up, what are your thoughts on the matter?
In this case, politics has been involved. I think law and order has been equal to everyone. So everyone has to be given equal treatment. So he has to be arrested. He had to be arrested on Saturday. But I don't know why the politics is involved in such issues. Humanity is humanity. So I think politics should stay away from this type of issues.
So you think he was treated specially because he was an MLA?
Yes.
You do believe that? Okay. What are your thoughts when this happened? Do you think it's got something to do with the whole VIP culture? Or do you think it's just a young man who was maybe out of control?
No, I think, firstly, I don't understand one thing. It's not the first time that Mohammed Harris has been involved in this thing. He has been involved in a lot of brawls. So how many more tweets and how many more accusations needs to be taken for, to punish the accused? I think there's been enough. And there have been reports where even after the event, after attacking the person in the pub, he has been to the hospital with his fellow members to threaten him. There have been tweets, everybody is telling the police and our chief minister to take steps and actions and all, but there is nothing. There are only words and words and words. There is no action being taken. So I think there's just special treatment being given to that person just because he's a politician's son.
Okay, so he has surrendered now. He is in police custody. Is the matter over, or do you think there's more to come?
No, I don't think so, because the elections are coming. So they are going to, I think they're going to brag this as much as they can just to make the elections come towards their, to make them the most favorable option and make them win. So I don't think it's going to quiet down anytime soon.
Yes, certainly even at the time when he was surrendering, the BJP and the JDS protesting outside the Cubbon Park police station when he was protesting. Now, Amit Shah, BJP president in Karnataka, saying that the FIR was not filed against him. It actually was. There was an FIR filed against him. But Amit Shah saying FIR was not filed because he was a Muslim. What are your thoughts on this?
Ma'am, basically I've read the reports and there I quote, Amit Shah I've seen Amit Shah quoting like Congress hides facts. So one thing I just wanted to clear my mind is, hasn't BJP hidden any facts or changed any facts? So what makes them so special to tell, like, it's just childish, I think, because elections are coming by, they just have to unnecessarily, childishly just blame the other party.
Okay.
It's not only the BJP, like for this event, yes, BJP has a upper hand to go against Congress, but there are other situations when Congress also goes against BJP, and it's really childish, but I don't think it's going to quiet down anytime soon, and it's going to go on for some time.
The son of MLA Harris is in police custody right now, but certainly that story isn't over. It's election year in Karnataka, and it is too political event for this to really die a death after this.
Matt, thanks very much there. Of course, echoing just what so many people around the country are feeling. Another caller, Manjunath, calling in from Bengaluru, in fact. Go ahead, Manjunath.
Hi, Natasha. This is Manjunath from Bangalore.
Hi.
Hello.
Go ahead with your question.
Yeah, actually, the only solution for this means there should not be any government interference with any of the ruling parties or whichever the way. So there has to be a separate governing council for selection of the police department or whichever there should not be any kind of an intervention. Only to do it in such a way only we can control such nepotism. Otherwise we can't control over there. So this is the one of the where they couldn't book the 307 case when a man has been brutally manhandled. And still police are nepos with MLAs and other folks. Those folks, it's not a suspended, they should not be terminated.
Okay. Of course, this is the immediate trigger. I hear what you're saying, Manjunath, but, you know, this is just so prevalent all across. You know, Mr. Upadhyay, before I get you in, we've also got a video call that we had earlier from Ritvik Kumar. We'll just listen into what Ritvik has to say.
Do you think that the VIP culture which has been existing in our country is for the past few years is really acting as a roadblock in the progress of our country and preventing us from achieving what we should have achieved? According to you, what measures should be taken to eradicate such problems and make us achieve what we should have achieved? Thank you.
Okay, I want to add on my own question to Ritvik's, Mr. Upadhyay, before we take a quick break and get you in on this. You know, we as a society, one has noticed, I'm sure it hasn't escaped anyone, we don't like to stand in queues. There's a fair amount of indiscipline, whether how we park our cars, who we are inconveniencing. We don't seem to care. And all of that just adds up to this heady mix when there's any power or privilege involved. What do you believe are the steps that we can take ourselves, or how do we crack this? Because that infamous instance when that Shiv Sena MP slapped that steward 25 times and then said it brazenly, and he thought nothing would happen. They said that he would be on a no-fly list like that would happen. But every now and then one just keeps hearing of the kind of behavior that people have to put up with because of these privileges.
No, absolutely, Natasha, I agree with you. You see, what can the common people do unless they have the support of some kind of, support from the establishment? If the police are independent, they can give support, people who are, protesting. So even the protests were not allowed. Today, people who are protesting outside the Kaban Park police station were chased away. And Mohammad's supporters, in fact, beat up some of the media people who were there. So this is the kind of, entitlement they believe in. And I have, a point for Mr. Harris. Now, he has said very clearly that let the law take its course. I mean, if he really means that, he should keep his hands off the whole thing and allow the law to take its course, which means surely I believe that this man will go to jail for at least 2-3 years. Is Harris ready for that? And that will be a test point for him. Secondly, I would like to tell him there is no point in just saying, I apologize. He took 48 hours to apologize to Vidwat and his family.
Put his money,
and
put his money where his mouth is, walk the talk.
Yeah, put his money.
Words
no,
okay. Okay, I
no, what I say is he should pay up the medical bills.
Yeah, fair enough. Take care of the person who's been injured so very badly and step back from the investigation. As they say, to use a cliche, let the law take its own course. Well, on that note, we are slipping into a very quick break. Back in a moment with lots more on live stream. Welcome back. You're with Livestream, the show that wants to listen to your voice. That is our number, 8377088377. Get onto your phones and call us. We're interested in asking tonight what you think of ending India's VIP culture. How on earth are we going to do it? Well, Manoj from Bengaluru has a comment. Go ahead, Manoj.
Hi, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to talk, firstly. And see, the question and point that I would like to communicate here for the whole country to NDTV is, now, especially in Karnataka, it is not only the first time or the first issue. You can see multiple such incidents happens, including ministers themselves doing it, and their children's doing it. And something like this has to be really, really punished so hard, so that other minister kids and other minister families will learn a lesson from this. It's not about only hitting the common man.
I agree.
It is about, we have seen even hitting police, cops,
and
all
it
of them
affects
who are
all of us.
serving for us day and night.
Totally, it affects all of us. Manoj, thank you so much for your question. I'm going to take that to Mr. Upadhyay in just a bit, but we have enough time to squeeze in one last caller, and this one is Jambunathan Iyer from Pune. Go ahead.
Hi, Natasha. Good evening.
Hi. Go ahead.
Am I audible? Yeah, my question is, at first I asked myself, are we worthy enough for these questions because haven't we voted these politicians to power? Now, having said that, a few months before, Shiv Sena party member assaulted an Air India staff, and we had the similar issue then. What was done for that? Do we all know? Actually, that is totally forgotten over time. So my question is, why can't we have special judge or a special judicial system which will handle only such cases and bring them to justice in just few days?
I agree with you. You know, we talk about it, it makes headlines, and then what? It is all forgotten. I'm afraid I have just absolutely no time, but 10-second response, Mr. Upadhyay. How do we get this zero tolerance for this VIP culture in place? Very short response, please.
Natasha, I have a suggestion. The Harris can set a good example to all other VIPs by doing something different. He can offer to take this boy Vidwat home until he recuperates, so that this Mohammad Nalapat can see him every day and see the kind of heroism that he has done on him.
That's right, and of course,
that will give him a lesson in his life.
I agree with you. That really can't arguing with that, and that Neta in question throwing petrol around that office, that corporation office, and exemplary punishment there as well. But thank Mr. Upadhyay and to all our callers this evening. I'm afraid I have to wrap on that note, but see you again same time tomorrow. Goodbye, good night.